Hello, this is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and today I want to talk about an interesting place in Peru. We're going to call this one the Mystical Peru, Unveiling the Enchanting Blue Basin with magic and the paranormal. Okay? So I want to describe first this amazing place in Peru, okay, known as the Blue Basin. And I want to kind of give you a little bit of a feel for it. I don't have any pictures for it, but you can go online. You can get all kinds of beautiful pictures. I want to kind of describe and set the scene a little bit. Then I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine who went there and some of the adventures that person had. I may have to end up doing a two-parter on this one because it's going to get pretty long, and I don't like to do really long videos. So, anyways, let's get started. So, nestled amidst the breathtaking landscapes of the Peruvian Andes, there is a hidden gem, a place of ethereal beauty and magical, mystical allure. Okay? The Blue Basin. This is a natural wonder. It's shrouded in ancient legends and whispered tales from, intrepid explorers and curious minds to unravel its secrets. And it has a lot of secrets. And people that have gone there have had some really pretty incredible experiences. Okay? So, anyways, the Blue Basin, and I'm going to try to pronounce a few of these names. I'm probably going to screw them up, and I apologize to any of you Spanish-speaking folks out there. So, the Blue Basin in the local native language is called Machacocha, and it is a mesmerizing. Basically, it's a mesmerizing lagoon. Its waters shimmer with this blue hue. Okay, the basin itself is a geological marvel. It is a vast depression carved by relentless forces of nature, surrounded by towering cliffs and lush vegetation. Local legends paint the Blue Basin as a sacred site, a portal to the spirit realm. Okay, couldn't get that one out. And that is the key to this. It's a portal. And I believe it to be a portal. Of all the people I've talked about, I've talked to at least a half a dozen people that have gone there, and they all describe it as some type of strange portal that you have these really kind of bizarre experiences. And they also said that the waters in the lagoon have these kind of healing properties, capable of mending both physical and spiritual ailments. So, anyways, the whispers of the ancient rituals and shamanic practices are echoed throughout the basin's tranquility, kind of adding to the mystical aura. And venturing into the Blue Basin is a adventure in itself because it's quite a ways from kind of civilization. And it begins at a charming little town called Jerez, nestled in the Cordillera Blanca mountain range. And so you have to walk through all these different little villages, and they're just supposed to be lovely till you get to this basin that is like hidden in the depths of kind of a jungle-ish area. As you approach the basin, the Blue Basin, the air grows cooler and invigorating in a sense of anticipation, I guess, of this basin area. The basin's entrance is marked by a narrow passage, a gateway to another world. And if you guys have ever seen one of the movies that depict Shangri-La, that's sort of in the where Mount Everest is, and in the Himalaya mountains, you have this little path. You're climbing up, then all of a sudden you have to slide through this little passageway, and then on the other side is Shangri-La. And this sort of reminds me of that. And everybody that's gone there has said the same thing. It reminded them of the movie Shangri-La, where you pass through here and everything else opens up into the Blue Basin area. So, yeah, again, emerging from the passage, you are greeted by the basin's breathtaking panorama, its water shimmering like a sapphire jewel against the backdrop of the towering cliffs. And the best time they say that you should experience it is, if you can, in the early morning hours when the sun casts this golden rays upon the basin's waters, creating this mesmerizing spectacular of light and color. So anyways, the tranquility of the dawn and early hours in the morning is amplified by the basin's remoteness and allows you to truly immerse yourself in the transformative experience. As you stand on the edge, one of the things that everybody said that I've talked to, the silence is absolutely mind-boggling. It's beyond anything they've ever experienced. And everybody seems to get that silence happens to them when they first step into the basin, okay? When they get in there, once they get in there, then, of course, they hear the birds and they hear other rustling in the jungle. But it's that initial step in there, like you're stepping from one dimension to another. You're stepping from one world to another, and that's the feeling. And every one of them, of the 6 or 7 people that have visited there that I had a chance to talk to, that's what they said. And they're all very consistent. They didn't go together. These are separate people. I think, let me take it back. I think 2 of them went together, okay? But I kind of interviewed them or talked to them separately. So that's what came out. So this sense of serenity washes over you. That's what they said. It kind of like some kind of a wave of something kind of washes over you. That you've just entered a sanctuary, this amazing sanctuary. So they also said some of the comments were it was a place to shed the weight of the daily life and reconnect with natural tranquility. The vastness and the interconnectedness of all things became very apparent. So it was a place to awaken your senses, embrace the mystical energy that was in the air. Okay, I'm just kind of quoting some of the things that I was told when I did my interviews. So, if you're seeking some spiritual enlightenment, more of tranquility, or a simple glance into the hidden wonders of the Blue Basin, it will be an unforgettable experience. So now, hopefully I've kind of set it up a little bit. Like I say, go to the internet, you'll find some really wonderful pictures of the Blue Basin. But it's truly kind of the Shangri-La, Peru, in many ways. So now I'm going to tell you about my story about my friend. So it was a close friend, and she had taken a mini expedition, as I like to call them. And really, probably I would say it's probably more than just a mini expedition, because it was, I think, for a 2-week period. And to Peru, and there was a group thing, and she was led by a shaman type character. She always called, I forget the guy's name, but the shaman was part of the trip. And during the trip, they went to this underground cave area where there was some very strange writing on the cave walls. So they kept on walking deep into the cave chamber, and it seemed like once they got to the bottom of it, they all seemed to feel like they were in some kind of a trance. They were kind of disoriented. They didn't feel right. They didn't feel bad, but they didn't feel really themselves. So they all seemed to be, and they seemed to all kind of have some type of a paranormal type dream. And they had dreams about, they all seemed to have dreams about otherworldly beings and strange, sometimes beautiful places. My friend was taken in her dream state to a place called the Blue Basin. That's what these beings that were in her dream took her to. Now, she said that this dream was not like a sleeping dream. It was more like a awakened dream. And she kind of believes to this day that she was part of, these beings were there at the bottom of the cave. Okay? So anyway, they took her to this beautiful community. And she said the initial visit or initial dream encounter, it was a very comfortable, her surroundings were very comfortable, and she knew it, but she knew it was just the beginning. It was just kind of the beginning, and she was going to have more and more. My friend, who we'll call her Ariel right now, had ongoing dreams. Not only as she was there doing the tour, there were 2 weeks there, she had more dreams, okay? And then when she got home, she had more dreams. And they were all kind of continuous type dreaming. So what she was deriving from her adventures, this basin area was amazingly enormous. And she said these beings were all working together for some positive agenda. At least that is the feeling that was projected. The beings seemed to be from many different other worlds, dimensions, hyper dimensions. It was sort of like, she said it was sort of like being in the Star Wars bar scene, if you all remember that, with all these different beings, entities from all different parts of the universe. We're all sitting there doing their thing. It's the famous scene. This basin area was controlled by a group of 12. She said there were like a triad. There was 3 of them, each little grouping. So there was 12 groups of 3 or 36 members, and each triad had different types of beings, and they worked in unison. Ariel was part of the group, and one of the other people in the group was a very tall, beautiful woman that had, human features. The other one had no structure, but was just a sound, a high-pitched crystalline type sound. But it was also part of her little triad. Everybody in the triad had to wear these medallions around their necks, and the sound beam the entity that was part of the triad was the sound that I described to you. It would just, the medallion would just be hanging in the middle of the air. And the medallions were made of this exotic metals of 3 concentric circles. And in the middle of this medallion was these 3 concentric circles. So she said the council was not a governing body, as we humans would think about. They were just manager types. They used holographic technologies to zoom in and zoom out to see other parts of the universe, including all dimensions. Their main mission, this council, was to plan, monitor, and help in a positive way to control the flow all types of cosmic energy. They were proud and passionate about their jobs. So, with that said, I'm going to kind of stop right here, and I have some more material I'm going to go through in the next couple weeks, and then I'll try to put another part 2 together, and just to give you some more interesting stuff from the Blue Basin. So, anyways, stay tuned. We'll see you. Bye-bye.